We are so glad you could be with us again. I am with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes The Partisan and right next door, Red Apron in Penn Quarter. Also a Red Apron down in Merrifield, and next door to that, B-side, and a Red Apron in Union Market. They just kind of reproduce when you're not looking.
You know your Red Aprons.
Yeah, I know my Red Aprons. Greg, it is always good to see you. What's on tap this week?
This week we have one of our favorite breweries from the Philly area, Tired Hands from Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The beer is called Monocarpic Enterprise, and it is one of, Tired Hands, as we've talked about before, they do it all. They do classic styles. I mean, they make this delicious Schwarz beer called Trendler. It's a black lager. It's amazing. Baltic porters. Then they do hazy IPAs and milkshake IPAs that have more fruit than hops in them. But then they, for a long time, have done mixed fermentation saisons, oftentimes aged in oak. Most of the time, those are big oak barrels called foeders. This is a mixed fermentation saison. It's hopped with Motueka, known for a limey flavor. Cascade, known for lemon floral notes. But then what's kind of extra cool about it is it's aged on matcha tea, which is a Japanese green tea that's ground whole and added to the beer.
Wow.
So you've got that kind of standard hint of earthy funk, great lemony tang in the nose from that mixed fermentation.
I think I could just smell it. I don't even know if I have to drink it.
So cool, yeah. And then a little bit grassy herbal notes, finishing bone dry with some delicious slight bitterness there. And the tea that's aged on is known for being kind of grassy and green, which really complements the flavor. And I almost think it gives it a little bit of like a fluorescent hue too. That could just be the beer. But,
I love that
delicious.
Wee bit of tang, and then in the finish, I get the citrus hits me at the end.
Delicious, like tangy for sure in the finish. So, I mean, a really amazing beer as usual from an incredible enterprise. I mean, Tired Hands started in 2011. This is Gene Brolet's brainchild, and he's the guy behind it all. He started this little cafe, little brewery. They've grown to produce over 11,000 barrels a year between this cafe, and then they have the Fermenteria, which is a bigger production facility and restaurant. They started this thing called Dudley Direct, so they ship beer direct to consumer in Pennsylvania. You can order it from the comfort of your home
and
get
send it to your porch
right to you.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They have a cafe, like a general store where they sell bottles and merch and provisions. They just do it all. He's getting into kombucha and natural wine. They, so really doing it all. And they just recently had a beer garden last summer and fall in Philadelphia proper in the Kensington neighborhood. And the big news is that their next project is going to be a standalone restaurant and bar right next to that beer garden in Philadelphia. So normally if you're up there, you have to kind of head outside to Ardmore, which isn't far, but it's not downtown. Now you're going to be able to get Tired Hands consistently and the whole Tired Hands vibe in the heart of the city.
So we know you can get Tired Hands here, and as you like to say, other better beer bars in the area. But do they
mostly here
do can bottles come down here?
You have to go to Tired Hands for cans and bottles. Yeah, you'll see it on draft at the likes of like Church Key and Sovereign, Partisan, things like that. Ooh. But it's a quick jaunt from here. That's the best part. Philly's not too far away.
No,
so
not at all.
Definitely want to check out what they do.
And I've got a big space in the back of the vehicle for all the growlers I have too. So.
Head up and get
sounds
filled,
good.
For sure.
I'm getting distracted. Okay, what would you pair this with?
Lemony tang, like you just said, can be squeezed on many, many things. It's like seafood, all that kind of jazz. Clams, lobsters, and shrimp and stuff. And like crab season's coming up. I can see this working well. Now, the bitterness that you get in the finish, that little bit, that tea-like grassy quality, I think makes me start thinking again about green veg. I mean, I could just see this with like, if you had a nice piece of like grilled fish or broiled fish, little lemon wedge, and then just, fresh spinach or like peas or asparagus or something like that on the side. I think this would just be a beautiful accompaniment to fresh green vegetables.
See, look at him. He thinks about vegetables, and you can tell. And then look at me.
You think about red apron.
Not thinking about vegetables. Yeah, I'm thinking about red apron and fresh cuts of meat.
That's right.
One thing, though, like for fish and chips, obviously, this would be great.
Yep.
Would malt vinegar get in the way? Because I like malt vinegar on my fish and chips. Would that tangle with this?
I don't think so. I think those two acidities would work well together, and if anything, they might kind of mellow each other out. Okay. So when you if you were to drink this with, say a fry that had been just doused with malt vinegar, the acidity in the vinegar in the beer will fall away, and you'll get more of the malt flavor of that malt vinegar, and a little bit more of the beer's flavor will jump up, and I think will do interesting things to that.
All right, you heard it here first, perhaps. These guys are doing amazing work up at Tired Hands. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you very much.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.